To Bishop Ellis, Bishop Cousins, Reverend clergy, political leaders, legislators, to the family of our departed mother. I greet all of you and wish you peace. And the only way we can arrive at peace is to know God's will and submit to his will, and then we enter into peace with God, and it's easier then to find peace with our fellow man. I came today not just because I was invited. I didn't know Mother Rosa as the members of the family and as many of these civil rights giants that are here today. But I know Mother Rosa from the inside out, not necessarily from the outside in. Jesus said, "Take my yoke upon you, but learn of me." We learn a lot about people, but too few of us learn of. And the preposition of means that you learn the spirit that motivates a person to say and do what they do. The Bible teaches that we should discern the spirit. I didn't know Mother Rosa, but I know her spirit. A quiet, unassuming, humble, beautiful woman who would be, I would say, shocked at the demonstration in Montgomery, in Washington, and here today, because this was not what she was about. She wasn't about being a big shot. She wasn't about being seen. She didn't seek the limelight. She was just doing what she does. That's the way it was with Moses when he got the call. That's the way it was with Abraham when God visited him in the plains of Mamre. That is the way it was with David. He was just out feeding sheep while Samuel came to the house of his father to find one to anoint. Rosa Parks was chosen from the womb of her mother to do something that would make a change. I like to think of her as a disciple of Christ. Say, well, Farrakhan, what do you know about being a disciple of Christ? And in the presence of our mother, I would like to say that too many of us know his name. So many of us praise his name, but too few of us are willing to be his disciples. Rosa Parks was a disciple of Christ, and therefore we cannot celebrate death, because there is no death for those who die in the Lord, as the scripture teaches. Jesus said, if any man would be my disciple, he didn't say you had to go to church every Sunday. He didn't say you had to sing in the choir. He didn't even say you had to be baptized. He said, if any man, and I guess that does include me. If any man would be my disciple, he must first deny himself. Second, he must pick up his cross. And third, follow me. Now, so many of us are unwilling to deny ourselves comfort or pleasure or a safe place or a seat at a table of acceptability. So we go along to get along. But not Mother Rosa. She denied herself comfort. She denied herself what most people are afraid to deny, that which threatens their security. And then after denying herself, she picked up a cross. Not a cross that you wear in your ear or around your neck that says you are what you may not be, but a cross that represents rejection, being evil spoken of, being falsely accused and brought before courts of law on unjust charges. That's a cross that she bore that triggered a movement that gave birth to Martin King and all of those who walked with him, that gave birth to my brother Reverend Jackson and Reverend Sharpton and Reverend Lowry and all of these stalwarts that sit here. But there's a problem. The problem is we denied ourselves for a moment and then compromised ourselves in the next moment because the cross bearing got too heavy. And my appeal in her name is that the church become the church. That the church never sells its soul to be a friend of those who are not the friend of those that she sat down that we may stand up for. The church must not dirty its garment, so that when the bridegroom comes, the bride can't go to the altar because her garment is unclean. To be a disciple doesn't carry a name like Christian or Muslim or Jew. These are names that separate the family of God, that keep the children of Abraham fighting each other. But to become a disciple is to act on principles. Deny yourself. Don't worry about self. Think about something bigger than self. Peter, give up your net and I'll make you a fisher of men. Give up your false life in the name of Christ. And then take up your cross and then follow in his footsteps. I close. My sister and the mother of this movement sat down that we might stand. Her spirit was a spirit of defiance against an unjust law and an unjust social order. We cannot honor her legacy with song and speech. President Clinton said she made America better, but she didn't make America good. Better is not good. Yes. There's a long way to go before America can be good America and a really, truly great America. And as long as there are children dying in the streets of America from poverty, we need to be defiant. We need to pick up a cross. We need to follow Christ. I pray that we will be defiant against religious hypocrisy in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. I pray that the spirit of defiance that made her sit down and say, enough is enough. I pray that we will be defiant enough about religious hypocrisy, that in the name of Christ, in the name of Muhammad, in the name of Moses and the prophets, slaughter is going on in the name of holy men. We need to stand up against religious hypocrisy and become defiant against it. We need to defy a political system that pays lip service to the poor and crushes them. We need to be defiant against a military-industrial complex that is sucking the lifeblood out of this nation so that to balance the budget, no compassion for the weak and the poor and the elderly and the young. I got the message. Mother Rosa, as long as I live, I'm gonna strive not to be a Muslim in name, a Christian in name, a Jew in name. I want to be counted with the disciples. And God knows I have forsaken self. And God knows I have picked up a cross. And God knows I'm walking in the footsteps of the Master. Because if I were not, I would be loved by those who hated Christ. So I thank you, family. I thank you for allowing me these moments. And my pledge, Reverend Al, my Rosa resolution is that I want to die stronger than when I started. It would be a tragedy for us to get old and then compromise what we've lived our life for. Die in the faith. Die on your cross. Die in the name of the Lord. Thank you.